Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are doing all well. I would start today's video with a saying by famous designer Coco Chanel. Fashion changes, but style remains. Well, first we have to understand what is fashion design. And you have already completed your foundation, but you still are in the illusion of that fashion is only about clothing. Fashion is not only about clothing. Yes, we refer to it as in terms of clothing. Fashion is about the food we eat, the life we live, the family sizes we have. Nuclear family is in fashion. Penthouses, the type of houses or flats that are in fashion are penthouses. So the style of watches that we wear, the style of chairs that we sit on, all that is in fashion. But commonly it is referred in terms of clothing. Also, fashion is a whole big umbrella under which the most important thing, fashion never changes. Basically it is the trends which changes. And when you say trend change, trends are influenced by what people buy, what people don't buy, what is their liking, where the direction in which fashion is moving or trend is moving. Like nowadays in India, commonly we see that lot of Indians are wearing western attire, so that is in trend. Athleisure is another category of clothing that people wear, so that is in trend nowadays. A lot of jeggings coming in, lot of gym wear is coming. All that is athleisure, and athleisure is in trend. So fashion is always affected by the trend, the colors that are there, the material that is coming, the prints that are coming. And it is the trend which changes, it is never the fashion. But we refer to fashion as the fashion of the 60s, the fashion of the 50s, the fashion of the 70s. I'm sure, I don't know how many of you have seen those big mascaras and big eyeliners with beehives, judas, or hairstyles. That is the fashion of the 70s. The polka dots, the fashion of the late 70s and early 80s. So, all these things are referred as fashion of that era or of that decade. But it is always the trend which changes. I mean, from polka dot to a print, a flower print, that is the shift of the trend, not the fashion. So that is one point that I want to talk about. And also the second thing, commonly people feel that fashion is, why do we need a designer? We There is a tailor, and that can be done. A garment can be made. Well, a fashion designer is a person who, you can say that he's the chef. He knows all the arts of cooking and the culinary manners and everything, a wholesome package, and he makes the garment as per your style or your body. So when I say style, there are two, three terms. I think it is getting little confusing here. Let me first tell you the difference between fashion design and costume design. Costume, the word says that it is designed for people either in theater or keeping a character in mind. For example, if you are doing Romeo and Juliet, that era, so you will refer to uh, that style of garment, okay, and that is what a costume designer does. Whereas a fashion designer would keep in mind your personality, your budget, the occasion, the fabrics that will look nice on you, the colors that will look nice on you, the colors in trend. So it is a wholesome package of, and also his signature style. So let's talk about first costume designer. Costume designer, normally in movies you would see that the costume designer for this movie is so and so. That is because as per the character need and as per the requirement of the character or the artist, the role that they are playing or depicting, the garments are made according, keeping in mind that time. And that is where we see a lot of period movies where we see the feel of it, like Padmavat. I mean, the lehenga that you see and the jewelry that you see, definitely it is kept in mind. What if Padmavat would have been made in that era? What were the things that the Queen Padmavati might have worn? So we reflect exactly, it is not the same like copy to it, but we try and reach to the max possible. Also, the other movie of Deepika Padukone that you see, um, a lot of period movies that she has done, and all these are reflection of that era. When you say Arabic queen, why the hijab and that dangling jewelry comes in your mind is because that is how you have seen all the time. Whenever you talk about Egypt or the Cleopatra, it is always about gold that you think, and the jewelry that you think, and the minimalist ballet and costume that you would always think. So that is what a costume designer do. And whereas a fashion designer make or design garment as per today's present time, or people who are in the present as per their body structure, as per the trend that is going on, and as per the request made by the customer. Whereas a costume designer keeps in mind the artist, the character that he or she is playing. So it is more of a theater, a movie thing, rather than a regular or a common man's definition. Fashion can be explained in a very, very good uh, definition, which says fashion is something which is worn by the masses and accepted by the masses in a given period of time. So, and that is why we say the fashion of the 70s and the fashion of the 80s. So, I mean, I wanted to explain that. Also, the difference between, we have understood, I hope you have understood the difference between a fashion designer and a costume designer. And what is the difference between a costume designer, a fashion designer, a tailor? Well, tailor, yes, they are master of pattern making, maybe, but they won't be able to design garment as per looking at your personality. Supposedly, if I say that I like fuchsia blue, the color that I am wearing, and I want you to make a garment for me with silver embroidery on it, Zardozi work, and you kind of design, and then you might suggest, no, Ritu, maybe not this color. Can we, looking at the occasion, can we do give you a darker fuchsia or a darker peacock blue? And things like that. So there is a lot of conversation that is happening with the designer and not with the tailor. With the tailor, you go and you give the measurement and you tell them that this is what you're looking at, or you look at the catalog and you decide your garment and you tell them to stitch it for you. Whereas a designer would buy the fabric for you, would design the garment, would tell you, show you the sketch of the garment, and finally will get it stitched for you. And that is where the prices of a tailor and the designer are varied. And designer, they give you a lot of time and they give you good fit, which a tailor might not or might be. So, a fashion designer is a person who gives a lot of information to you in regard to what would look nice. He is the person who compliments you or adds to your style. Another word that we commonly hear is style. Style is something that is your own and it varies from individual to individual. For example, if supposedly there are 10 people and I give them 10 dupattas and I'll ask them to drape it, everybody would want to carry it in a different style. And a style is always about your comfort. So these are the few things that first you should keep in mind. Fashion design, the difference between fashion design and costume designer, fashion designer and costume designer and tailor. And what is style? Style is something very personal. How you are comfortable. Supposedly, I don't want to wear a deep neck. I don't want a spaghetti. Even how much my designer tells me, I might not wear it because that is my style. So a designer would always keep in mind what do you like and how you're looking better than what you used to wear. And I mean, it elevates, the designer elevates your personality, and that is what I would want to say. So that is all for today, and I would want all of you to write to me and ask me if there are questions. Next video I would be talking about the base of fashion designing, the subjects that are lined up, and how progressively and what all is covered, and what as students you should keep in mind. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Request all of you to share these videos with people who want to pursue design or are feeling a little confused, and also do likes and subscribe. Thank you.